Have you ever traveled somewhere knowing almost nothing about the destination? A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to visit Colorado Springs, Colorado, a city that I knew nothing about. I did what any person would do, and I took to Google to learn more about the city I would be spending the next 10 days in. The first thing that I learned was that Colorado Springs sits at an insanely high altitude. According to Google, the altitude of Colorado Springs is just over 6,000 feet. To put that into perspective, that is over 1 mile above sea level. It is no wonder why some of the best athletes in the United States come to this scenic city to train. And then there's me, just an average guy visiting the city on a business trip. I knew that this would be a perfect opportunity for me to train for my upcoming half Ironman. Little did I know that my training sessions were about to get a lot more difficult. I arrived at Colorado Springs late in the evening. I picked up my suitcase and got in my rental car. As I was driving to my hotel, I noticed that I was actually out of breath. I hadn't done any physical activity yet except walk to my car, and I was already feeling the difference in altitude. I remember thinking to myself that my training sessions were about to suck even more than they already do. It turns out I was not wrong. Most of my training was done in my dinky hotel gym on a stationary bike or the treadmill. However, there was one day in particular where I got to train in one of the most beautiful places I have ever been. A place aptly named Garden of the Gods. Garden of the Gods is a national landmark and is a must-see if you are traveling to Colorado Springs. I packed my running shoes, my headphones, and camera, and I was ready to get a nice long run in this beautiful place. When I first arrived, I did some exploring and I tried to find a good trail that wasn't too crowded with a lot of people. I finally stumbled along a trail that wasn't too busy, and I decided to give it a shot. I seriously think I had made it 5 minutes into my run before I was completely out of breath. It really didn't help that I was running straight up the side of a mountain. After catching my breath for a few minutes, I continued my trek up the mountain. After about 20 minutes of running, I had finally made it to the top. At the top was an awesome view of the mountains and the surrounding landscape, with a view of the infamous Pikes Peak in the background. This experience was by far the best training session I've had since I started my journey back in February. It is one of those moments that I'm going to look back on and remember for a really long time. I left Colorado Springs with a newfound respect for the people that live there in that high altitude, and especially for all the athletes that train in that altitude. I'm already looking forward to visiting this beautiful state sometime in my near future. I really wanted the message of this video to tell you guys to get out and explore new places. However, in light of recent news, I think it is better to advise people to stay inside. I encourage you guys to use this time spent indoors to reflect and try to think about how you can improve some aspect of your own life. Whether it's working indoors, reading more, or doing something creative with your time. Really try to use this time to your advantage and do your best to stay healthy. I really want to take a moment to thank everyone for the love and support that I received on my last video. It was much appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed my story of my best training session thus far. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.